Since the 1980s, Mario has been the star of many popular video games made by Nintendo, but it was his brother, Luigi, who was always put out of the limelight. He always features as a second-rate character in video games, such as Super Mario Bros., where he was the second player, or even in the Mario Kart series. In Super Mario 64, which is my favourite game, as some of you may know, he doesn't even feature at all. Of course, he did feature for the remake on the Nintendo DS, but he still wasn't the star of the game. The star, of course, was Mario. It took until the GameCube's launch title, Luigi's Mansion, which finally answered some of Nintendo fans' prayers for Luigi to finally get his own game, and this time, instead of saving Princess Peach, he had to save his older brother, Mario, from the game's main villain, and, for once, it is not Bowser. Originally, this game was conceived to be made using 3D visual effects, like you would see nowadays at the cinemas, and of course on the Nintendo 3DS. But this was scrapped, and instead it just had updated graphics, as it was the first Nintendo GameCube title made by Nintendo. But last month, the sequel to Luigi's Mansion, Luigi's Mansion 2, also known as Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in the US, was released in the UK, which is why I am taking a look back to 12 years ago, when the original Luigi's Mansion was released for the Nintendo GameCube. In my opinion, this game is a good game, and it is quite original. Instead of jumping around and hitting blocks, Luigi is provided with a vacuum known as the Poltergeist 2000 by Professor E. Gadd, who will aid you along the game with a device known as the Game Boy Horror. With the vacuum, you will suck up all the ghouls and ghosts who lurk in all the rooms all throughout the mansion. There are about 5 different floors in the mansion. There's floor 4, floor 3, floor 2, floor 1, ground floor. There's a basement, and there's even a balcony at the top of the mansion as well, the mansion roof. And across the mansion there are many types of ghosts that you will encounter, each having a number under its heart when you shine light on it, so you can stun them. Once you shine the torch on them and stun them, use the vacuum to suck the life force out of them. And once that number reaches 0, they will be defeated. The hardest types of ghosts are the portrait ghosts, who have escaped from Egad's gallery, and one of your main aims in this game is to capture all of them and put them back inside the portraits where they belong. Each portrait ghost has 100 points, so they are quite difficult to defeat. But once you have defeated them and perfected your skills with the controls, then it shouldn't be too hard. I won't go through the controls, as the game itself will explain that to you. And most of you watching this review anyway will probably have an idea of how to play the game anyway, and you've probably played it already. Once a ghost is defeated, the rooms will get brighter, and you will no longer have that eerie feeling of the setting of a haunted mansion, and you will no longer have haunting music like the music playing in the background right now, and it'll be it'll be less scarier and more safer. In addition, you will usually acquire an item from a treasure chest, which appears when a room lights up. Is that a reference to Zelda, anyone? Anyway, in case you don't know where the chest is and it doesn't appear, sometimes a key will appear and it could be anywhere in a room and you have to use your vacuum to suck the key up. In the chest, which usually appears, you will find a key, like I just said, and you can go to areas that you couldn't go to before. To find the area where you want to go, press Z on your GameCube controller for a map, and you can see where you're supposed to go and what floor you're supposed to go to. As you advance, you will also pick up elements, which will upgrade your vacuum to release fire, water and ice, so you can defeat elemental ghosts, as well as complete different puzzles, such as lighting candles with your fire element. About a quarter into the game, you will encounter boos, who have appeared in most Mario games. You will have to defeat these in order to advance, because there are boo doors which require a certain number of boos to be defeated. It's quite similar to the musical note doors from Banjo-Kazooie, and that's pretty much most of the game explained. So overall, it wasn't a bad launch title for the Nintendo GameCube back in 2001. However, it didn't feel as groundbreaking as the previous launch title for Nintendo 64, Mario 64, which it may be biased because I said that game is my favourite of all time. Also, the length of this game isn't that long. I would say it take about a day or two to complete it without capturing all the boos, but even capturing all the boos won't add a vast amount of time to your completion of the game, like side quests in Zelda. And also you can collect other things such as gems and money as well, which is scattered all throughout the mansion. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more video game reviews.